Welcome everybody to the Kubernetes SIG Network meeting for Thursday, January 6th, 2022. Bridget has issue triage queued up. So over to you, Bridget.
I think I got the right window shared.
Yep, looks good.
The danger of too many windows to GitHub open at any given moment. Okay, so looks like the very first one is one that I might need to chase down. It looks like this person, unless we think this is a non-AKS specific thing, what do we think is happening here? Not saving endpoint for unknown health check.
It wasn't clear that this was AKS specific, just that they were using AKS.
Yeah.
I flagged this one for, can we get a volunteer to see if they can make heads or tails of what the error really means and what might lead to this. Like, I don't know off the top of my head what would lead to this error message. I have a vague recollection of writing that log line or reading that log line, but I don't remember what it was for.
I love that. I definitely read or wrote this log line once in the distant past.
So any volunteers want to try to chase it down just to see if it's real? You don't need to fix the problem, but just to figure out if it's really a thing. Anyone? Anyone?
I mean, I can at least try to reproduce it. So,
okay.
And find out if it, if I can get it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, for all I know, it's happening in every cluster everywhere and just nobody's looking at the log, right?
Yeah. So let's, and then should I triage accepted probably? Or no, I guess we don't triage accept. Yeah.
Once we confirm that it's a thing.
Yeah.
Triage accept means we're keeping.
Right. All right. We'll see.
Hi, everybody. New Year.
Hi, Tim.
Sorry, I jumped on the call just a minute late.
That's cool. I'm just wondering if I signed wrong because like the bot is not saying anything. So that's cool.
Sometimes the bot's a little busy and we'll take a minute to catch up.
Oh, that's probably fine. We can move on. Feature request support for host gateway. What do we think of this one?
I was just responding at the end. I looked at this one a few minutes ago. It's a feature request. So there's a proposed workaround here in the bug already. It's not exactly what the user was asking for. I don't think what they're asking for is crazy, but it would require a cap and some API changes and either loosening of validation or some new fields. And it doesn't, it's not immediately obvious to me that it's worth that amount of effort. So we'll see, I guess, if the user thinks that the workaround is acceptable.
Or maybe they want to do that effort.
Well, I mean, maybe. Or somebody else here is also willing to say, hey, oh, I've needed that too. Let me jump on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe we'll come back to this one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, wait and see. All right, service load balancer source range. What do we think is happening here?
So this one looks legit. But it would need somebody who has expertise in the Win kernel proxier to figure out what to do here and how to like jump to the area that needs to be jumped to.
Okay.
So it has SIG Windows tag. I'm sure for maybe.
Yeah, I see SIG Windows.
Dan, you're breaking up a little bit for me anyway.
Yeah, for me too. I see SIG Windows is on there. So maybe see if they do something with it.
Ordinarily, I'd say, 3 weeks ago, but it was the holidays. So maybe we let this one cook for another cycle and come back to it afterwards.
Yeah, that sounds
good. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Missing is loopback. Check for node address. What do you think is happening here? Looks like you looked at this one, Tim.
Yeah, so this is basically one of the family of bugs that are related to node ports on localhost. I followed up, and then I wanted to ask here if anybody has context, because I ran out of time to search. Do we have a general, like an issue open, or is somebody paying attention to the general problem of like moving in this direction? We have a compatibility problem but it's also a security problem. So it may actually be worth the effort to try to drag people towards the light. And I didn't know if we had an open issue. These are all closed related issues, but there's another 9293. There you go. Which is really the real issue, right? Don't set that sysctl. Anyway, the question is, do we have an issue for this? Should we open an issue? Should we just retitle this issue and call it eventually IPtables should not use localhost node ports?
But the conclusion on was that people were using the trick. I mean,
well, in theory, people are using it. I know that in the past, I had heard of at least one use case, but I don't know if anybody's really still using it. And so, I mean, it seems like it's worth some effort to me to try to figure out if this is something that we could break gently over time.
wow.
Like it was a bad idea in the first place. Could we convince people to stop doing it?
I can take a look. That's assigned to me because I remember the discussion, and I know that this started with Justin Santa Barbara doing something for the load balancers. But
yeah, the use case that I remembered was people running a non-HTTPS container registry, and they created a node port because Docker would only allow non-HTTPS on localhost. So they ran it on port 5000 on a node port on whatever, and then they set all their images to localhost : node port. It's like a gross thing. I don't know if there are other use cases.
Yeah.
I remember something with the load balancer, but I mean, I may be mixing.
Localhost. Okay. All right. Well, you're on it now.
Yeah, I will do the archaeology.
Archaeology, love it. All right, external DNS outage. Ooh, that's exciting.
This
DNS
is a
outage
great-
on all nodes.
This is a great read. First of all, it's a great bug report. Like if every user filed bug reports this complete, we'd be rocking and rolling. But I can't fathom what the hell's going on. They said a node joined the cluster and all the DNS on all the nodes started failing. And then it recovered.
Oh. Okay.
And they're
So it
using
looks like you
Sellium.
got- yeah, and it looks like you got some. They got some suggestions that maybe aren't helpful. but
They're looking to the
maybe-
DNS side, but I can't imagine how DNS is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you could coordinate this across nodes would be through something like Proxy, right? Or this Sellium equivalent. So my question for the call is, anyone from Isovalent here? Anyone who knows Sellium really well wants to like pontificate about whether this is even possible? The user says they can't reproduce it anymore, so we're sort of dead there. Nobody? All right. Let me think about if there's anybody on the Sellium side that I know who I could ping for a consult on this. You can leave this one, or I'll self-assign it.
Or
This
we could
person-
maybe we could go to a Sellium community call.
We could also do that.
This person, Andre Martins, I think. This person works at Sellium, and he
Is he on
used to
there?
be. No, but he used to be very responsive on Slack and these things. So maybe he can guide us. I think
That's a great point.
ANN was the handler, or AAN. I don't remember. It's three-
MCANN.
Yep, AANM.
Okay. Do you still want it, Tim?
No, go ahead and, I mean, we can leave it unassigned. Do you want to ping?
Okay.
I'll ping Andre right now while we're doing this.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to pop to the next one. Let's see. What do we think, Antonio? Looks like you've got some thoughts here.
Yes, send to me.
Do we want to accept it?
Yes, I think I wanted to add a need to eat test, but it brought a lot of dependencies, and it's on my backlog and low priority. But I will keep working on this.
Okay, I'm going to assign that to you. Oh, someone wants a standard. That's very exciting.
This is the Rob Scott one.
Okay. And it looks like Rob mentions that we did. It looks like we got it assigned to Rob, but we haven't triage accepted it yet. Rob, are you here? Do you have thoughts?
Low turnout today.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't see Rob here. I can ping him. I think he's around.
okay. Do you want me to add you to this issue, Bowie, or do you want to just let this one ride and see what Rob says?
You can add me because I want to see what the conversation goes. I'm just seeing. I think he's around. He should be joining.
Okay. All right, we'll see. Keeping an eye on time, maybe one more.
Yeah, we got
See.
maybe 5 minutes left, so we can do
Okay.
maybe a few.
All right. Ooh. Proxier, which is less proxy than proxyist. Okay, we got
Yeah, this one
Ricardo.
is yeah, this one is with me, Bridget. So I just forgot to do I don't know if this is a triage accepted. Actually, it depends on the ones that wanna approve or not the PR. But but at least like the user is talking with me on Slack, and I am helping him, her, guiding through the code and checking the implementation. So that's, we can probably do a triage accepted.
Yeah, why don't we accept it?
Thank you.
Is there a hyphen in there or no?
No hyphen, just
No
triage
hyphen.
accept.
No. Yeah.
Not accepted, just accept, right?
Oh, accept.
Or is accepted?
Okay,
No, but that's-
Accepted also
That's
works.
accepted.
there we go. Magic.
Excuse me.
Delete IPtables created by Kubelet. Long history here. I love that. All right,
No,
what are you
that's-
thinking?
That's Dan Winship's territory.
Nice. What do you think, Winship?
I wasn't paying attention at the top of the bug, but from that description, yeah, it sounds like.
Sounds like
Well, it's a kubeadm thing. Oh, but kubelet does. Oh, okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, assign that to me, sure.
Didn't we used to have code that would, when you flipped between proxy versions, clean up the old one, and then we
No, it says here like kube proxy has the option to do this, but
Oh,
kubelet
okay.
does not.
got it.
The
I see
link
what you mean.
edition, in the link edition, Dan Winship explains everything. I mean,
Got it. I understand now.
Although I think we decided that we just don't support switching proxy modes without rebooting because
That's
didn't
correct.
we kill off the cleanup code, I think?
Yes, we did.
I think we relegated it to the, you have to call it explicitly with -- cleanup, which just does the cleanup and exits, or something like that.
I am moving us past that to pod termination. Too soon? Apparently the pod termination is too soon. Bowie, you got thoughts on this one? Or Ricardo?
Let me read through this. I will take a look at this 106476.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely
seems-
forgot this one, Bridget. Sorry.
Okay.
It seems like it's
how
just the general life cycle, like my pod exited before my load balancer removed it problem.
So maybe we need to change the docs to make it more clear if they're confused.
Yeah.
I will wait and see what Bowie and Ricardo come up with there.
Okay.
And maybe one more. Ooh, UDP, excellent. Lots of excitement there. We have Ooh, we have Bowie on this one. Antonio may have done some stuff on this one as well.
It looks like I was tasked to examine this one, so I'll keep it.
Okay. And,
And that's time, or at least it should
and
be.
we're at time.
All right. And we're back to the beginning of November, which is pretty good. I'll take a
Pretty
scan
good.
through these later today, through the rest.
Awesome.
There's only like 5 or 6 more left.
We made pretty good progress.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have hello from the 124 release team. So James, I believe you're on. You are up.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So hi, my name is James. I'm the release lead for Kubernetes 124. I just wanted to come by and introduce myself and say hello and answer any questions anyone has about the upcoming release. I also have some upcoming dates for you. I'll put a link to the full schedule, which we just finalized in the chat in a moment. But upcoming soon, the release starts on Monday, this upcoming Monday, 10th of January. The production readiness review soft freeze is on Thursday, the 27th of January, so towards the end of the month. And enhancements freeze is a week later at 2 a.m. UTC, Friday, the 4th of February, which is 6 p.m. PST, Thursday, the 3rd of February. I'll pull out the schedule link and find the chat, put it in there, which just gives you everything that you need to know. So yeah, hello, any questions?
Do we have dates for Code Freeze nominated?
Yes. Let me just pull that up now. Code Freeze. Oh, no, I clicked the wrong link. Code Freeze. 30th of March UTC, which is 29th March PDT. That same sort of, we've kept everything in 6 p.m. Pacific this time around.
Sorry, can you say the date one more time? I'm finding it on the calendar.
For
March.
Pacific, yeah, in Pacific, it's Tuesday the 29th of March for Code Freeze.
That's what I thought you said. I just don't want to put my calendar on the wrong date. So we, as a SIG, have not yet had a discussion about which KEPs we want to queue up. I didn't put it on the agenda for today because I didn't do my homework, but we should go through the KEP board and make sure that everything that we want to be making progress is making progress, and decide which ones we want to let in the gate this cycle. We've been pretty good the last couple cycles about keeping the gate closed. I think it's time to start trickling some through. I spent some time over the holidays reading some KEPs. We got a lot of exciting stuff that I really would like to see actually start.
One question for James. Are there any specific focuses or themes for this release that you think SIGs should be aware of?
Not really. We as a release team don't pick themes other than the logo, and those are generally informed by what the SIGs put in. Obviously, the big one we know about so far is Dockershim. Everyone's talking about Dockershim all the time. But other than that, no, not in particular. It's not like a maintenance release or a feature release or anything. We have no such concept.
Any other questions for James?
No, just thank you. And we are excited to move some stuff along.
Good luck.
Sardonic response there, Tim.
Well, let me turn it around then. Please feel free to reach out to us at any point if you or yours feel like we are making trouble or not following the rules or whatever you need from us. Please do not hesitate.
Yeah, we will do. I think it's often been highlighted we need to be better at all forms of communication generally. So it's definitely something we're hoping to improve on. So yeah, try and keep communication lines open. Should be good.
All right.
Well, this is a SIG that definitely is aware of the release schedule. So you won't have too much, I hope, you won't have too much trouble from us going, but wait, we're not quite to the end of the entire release cycle yet. Can't we just add 6 more things? That's not this SIG.
Cool. Yeah. Then I'll correct one of the dates in your notes, but other than that, they're good.
No. Yeah, any of the mistakes there are mine, so please update if you can. Thanks. And I preempted Ricardo really quick. Tim, did you want to go through KEP board review?
I didn't really do the homework.
Okay, we can punt it till next time.
I mean, let's
you
leave
want.
it for the end. If we have a few
Okay.
free minutes, I'm happy to walk through it.
Sure. All right, I'll swap those two. So it is over to you, Ricardo, for endport KEP.
Okay, I hope this one is quick, but that's probably a hard discussion. So I was talking with Tim before New Year. I don't know if you remember about that, Tim, because we are trying to promote endport to GA, right? And we have a situation, I was talking with Jay as well, that we've reached the bar to promote, but Sellium is not able to right now to implement endports on their CNI. So we have Red Hat, we have Antria, we have Calico, we have Cube Router, and I guess we have one more. But Sellium got some hard time to promote that. So my thing is that I really want to remove that thing from my QE and maybe get that KEP promoted. But on the other hand, I understand the problem that this might be a problem to the ecosystem because Sellium is getting more and more. I would not say important because Case is going to be mad at me because I know that Calico was always the. But it's getting more and more attention, right? So if we promote something to GA that's not supported by one of the major CNIs, we are gonna probably have the same problem that we've got with SCTP for a long time. So like people jumping into Kubernetes issues and saying, "Hey, SCTP doesn't work on my CNI. I don't know what to do." So I'm just bringing here to discussion because I don't know what to do. I don't know, Tim, if you got some return from Sellium folks as well, or if we just should like, okay, whatever, let's wait one more cycle.
I did spend a little time talking with folks over at Sellium, and the short answer was it's difficult to implement efficiently, not impossible, but they'd have to spend person time on it, which they don't have a whole lot of reason to do at the moment because it's not been super important. And what we are missing as a community is a norm for, do they have to do it? Do we have a stick? Is there a carrot? Like, how do we encourage implementations to stay up to the current and to do things which, maybe they have other priorities. I'm sure they do. And if the carrot doesn't work, then do we have a stick? And I don't know, that's an English phrase. I don't know if everybody gets it, but so I don't have a real good answer here. We talked sort of a little bit about, do we need network policy conformance? Do we need to actually create a program that says this is what it means to be conformant, and here's the dashboard, and the stick is a red line in the row that says Sellium non-conformant as of 124, right? Or something like that. I mean, that's a pretty big stick. Is that what we need to do? I don't have an answer.
So in this specific case, as opposed to the general case where, yeah, we maybe do need some solution, but this was a very poorly motivated new feature. And so we can't have any stick that involves, but people actually want this, because we don't actually have a lot of evidence that people actually want this. And so they're choosing to not implement it might be the correct decision.
I'm not arguing.
Though also for the record, Ricardo, it is now implemented in OpenShift SDN.
Yeah, I know. I need to send to Andrew and you some beers or something like that. I told Andrew. I saw the PR and say, "Yay, thank you."
I didn't even do it. Someone else did, so they deserve the beers.
But you've shown that to me and made my day happy. So yeah, I agree with you. Then but I think that like team point is fair. Like for me, it's this in the same scenario as SCTP, right? We've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out actually who uses SCTP and why that thing got promoted to GA. And then we've got like a lot of issues from, I guess, telecom or something like that, folks using that and saying, hey, okay, this is GA, so we now need to support that. And some CNI support and some not. And maybe we need to have some conformance, like Matt has been doing that with Cyclonus on past, he's shown that to us, but even that it's a big, I got the word team about the stick and the carrot, I can understand that. So that's a big stick saying, hey, you are not conformant with Kubernetes anymore because you don't implement this feature, right? So,
and honestly, if we go that route, we probably need to like talk to CNCF folks about what does it mean, because I don't think we as a SIG, like we can't revoke somebody's permission to use the name Kubernetes unless we put it in the real conformance suite. But network policy has always been an optional feature, so we can't really put it in the conformance suite. So we're on sort of untrodden territory so far.
Maybe we need some standardized way of describing what network features a plugin implements, because it was never intended that everybody was going to be, or it was never assumed that everybody would implement SCTP. It was just, if a plugin implements SCTP, this is how it should work so that they're compatible.
So there's another cap, there's the network policy, was it network policy status cap, which suggests maybe we should add a status field that can say, hey, I can't implement this policy because you know feature X isn't, you're trying to use feature X, but I don't support feature X, which isn't super helpful for legacy clients or legacy implementations who don't know about the status or who don't know about the feature to indicate that they don't support it. They just don't see it, right? So
yeah, that's just gonna be probably something else that needs implementation from CNIs, and then we need everybody supporting status and reporting status. So,
well,
right.
I mean, there's ways around it, right? If they don't know status, they just don't report it, and you know, it's unknown or it's unresolved, or you have to default to the CNI's documentation. I think it's a major problem. Like with CMP, with cluster network policy, we're thinking, how can we build it so that we can expand to new types of selectors in the future? And it's the same sort of problem. Like we don't know if we should be doing that with a status, or should we have some sort of like SIG network object that states like, this is what's supported. Kind of what Dan was alluding to earlier. Like there might be a better way to do this besides just focusing on network policy.
Yeah,
right,
well,
because
we used to have component statuses as an API, which was then end of life.
But yeah, like the SCTP applies both to at the transport layer and also the network policy specific bits. So yeah, there's already features that the plugin may or may not implement that are not just network policy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to raise this. So you should probably reflect a bit more on that, if we should have that optional conformance or whatever. Like if we decide to have status, we are gonna probably hit the same thing. If we decide that 4 CNIs, 4 network policy providers needs to implement that, and 3 implements, but 1 major not, like KZ doesn't want to implement that in Calico, we are gonna have probably the same problem in the future. So maybe having a conformance, an optional conformance, or just a table saying, hey, those CNIs they implement and those not, so be aware of that, those majors, in some kind of official documentation should be something.
Yeah, calling it conformance may be too heavy. right? If it was just simply an advisory table that users could consult, then we then have a different problem of maintaining it over time and removing stale entries. But at least we can say that like it's written down somewhere.
I was imagining more a CRD that the network plugin itself could create, so that then you could even query at runtime what features were supported. And then we could just, periodically grab data from those and put them on the web if we wanted it on the web too.
Yes, I mean, to carry that to its conclusion, we could implement a mission control that is always kept up to date because it's in tree and says, oh, you're trying to create a policy that uses the foobar, and foobar is not in the supported list from your implementation. Reject. So that's not, shouldn't say it's off the table. It's a little weird. I think we're the only subsystem that has this problem. But we have it in spades, right? We have Ingress and Gateway and Network Policy, which are all going to fall in the same category.
Do storage providers not have this problem? I don't know a lot about storage.
No, I think you're probably right. They do, but they have CSI sitting between their implementations and Kubernetes. So I don't even know what CSI does at this point in this regard. Yeah, maybe it's worth a joint infrastructural SIGs. It's wrong term. Often implemented out of tree SIGs that can talk about this idea. It's actually not bad. I kind of like the idea.
It's at least somewhat user-friendly in that you get a warning in some consistent location instead of having to like scrape your network plugin to figure out if it is supported.
All right. I'll tell you what, I'll take an action to start a small thread with some of the folks from SIG Storage and see if they want, A, if they have solutions to this, and B, if they are suffering the same problem, should we solve it in a common way?
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know which word is better.
All right. You're just the first one to get there, Ricardo.
Thanks, Tim. That would be really awesome. We've been stuck on this in the network policy working group. Like we keep bashing our heads against it, putting it under the rug and ripping it back up in a couple months later. So
yeah, every time I look at it, I go, I don't know what to do with this. I got other things to do.
Me too.
Does that mean kept board review, Tim?
Are we at time? Okay. Let me find my window.
I dropped the link in the chat for this Zoom if you just want to open a new window.
Got it. And I'll share a Chrome tab. Wait, which Chrome tab? How about this one? Come on. Can you choose this one? It's just not giving me any. There we are. But there's no search, and I have far too many tabs. Here, I'm just going to share the window. That one's easy. Tell me if you can see.
Yep, looks great.
All right. So we'll start, I guess, from the right to the left. So are there anything that we have GA'd that has been had the gates removed? I don't think so.
There's no gate on 563 anymore. That could probably get moved over.
No, the gate is still the gate, but the gate is still present in the code. Sorry, in the tree that it's. The gate is listed as GA, but locked to default, right?
As I understand it, people can't feature flag dual stack off anymore, but maybe I misunderstand that.
Yeah, no. So the semantic of this column was it's GA, but we haven't removed the last vestiges of the flag yet. So somebody who's still setting the flag won't get an error, but they can't change it.
Gotcha.
Right?
Of course.
So that one I think comes in 2 more releases that we move it off to the right side. And we didn't do endpoint slice.
It's due this cycle for 124.
Okay.
but it has not been done yet.
Okay, so that's on you.
Yeah.
All right. Then, oh, you can see it in the releases too. So 22, two releases later, it's removed. Then probably the same on this one. I don't suppose Javi's here, but we'll look at this. Okay, what did we do anything move from beta to GA this cycle? No.
The node port, the optionally disable node port.
Did that actually happen? I thought it wasn't moved.
Lars submitted a PR, and I think that team already approved. Maybe.
I think so. What was the name of the gate?
This was done 2 weeks ago or something.
Oh, we need to put the gate names in the CAP issue. I'm also going to milestone this to 23.
Maybe it's reference at the end.
It was Alec. No. We have the name.
Is it service LB node port control?
Yes.
Say that 3 times fast.
Service LB node port control. Did we do it? Sorry, I'm looking in the separate.
It is still 122 and Kubernetes on master. So it's still beta.
Still beta?
Yeah, it graduated beta in 122 and no update since then in the code anyway.
Yes. No, sorry, service in the table.
No, you're right. You're right. The
GA.
comment wasn't updated, but the table, yeah, you're right. It is GA.
It was GA, and so we get to move it to the GA column, and it's milestone. Okay. Anything else that moved from beta to GA? No load balancer class. I started looking at these, but they're not moved. Okay, cool. Anything that moved alpha to beta?
Just one more thing, the Ingress class namespace scope thing, that is GA in 123.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We have to untangle the internal traffic policy, and
yes,
I don't remember now the details, but I think that there were 1 or 2 caps.
Dan's got some PRs open, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's untangling slowly, but it took me some brain power to reason through your PR, man.
But so I don't know if you saw the last update, but I think I have figured out how to make it easier. So I'm working on it now.
Cool. I hadn't seen that update, but that's great to hear, because I was looking at it going, how do I convince myself that this is right? Okay, sorry, alpha to beta, did anything go? Did graceful termination? No.
You're talking about the last release, 123, right?
Yeah, topology.
Yeah, did anything go from alpha to beta in 23?
Topology went across.
Which one is that? This one?
The last one, yeah.
24,
I linked you a spreadsheet for 123 if that helps you, that we use the releasing for tracking.
Too many windows open.
Isn't the first one as well? It's with the stage beta label there. I don't know if that's being used by something.
Did it go? I'm trying to remember with all the caps in this area.
Let me see the future flags.
I think that this one was the one that raised the conflict. So I don't think that this happens.
Also, we've got to go through an unstale bunch of these. Okay, let's look. Anything that was pre-alpha that officially went alpha this cycle?
Well, we want CMP to get in definitely before feature free or the enhancement.
Yes, so CNP is very high on the list for 24.
Yeah, Dan Winship gave a really, really great comment. It's our review like a good while ago. We're still working on finishing up, responding to it and changing it. There was quite a considerable amount of
great. I haven't had a chance to top to bottom it again, but let's set it for 24. Okay.
Sorry,
What else?
we jumped past I think it's 1435, but I do plan to move that from alpha to beta for this release. And I have all of the clouds agreeing. So you can scroll down and read all the excitement, but
rock and roll. Okay. Anything else? Let's see. What else do we want to push to get from alpha to, or from pre-alpha into alpha? So cluster network policy, yes.
We want the cluster IP change. The one that to reserve the static and dynamic service IP.
Yes, is that in here? I think I put it in new, not evaluated yet, right?
Yeah. Is the top one or not?
Is it the first one?
Oh, I don't remember now. I will.
I forget you've got two with similar names, right?
I got one.
If you have it, go through and mark which ones you want to shoot for 24. We'll just decentralize this. Anybody who's got KEPs that they would like to target for 24, please try to hit it with the milestone 24 or ping me if you can't. I think you can do that through a comment. That'll help us when we look at this next to prioritize.
One note on that gateway API one in pre-alpha, I think that can just be moved off the board. It didn't really go through it's at the very top of the list. It didn't really go through the full process. It's just kind of a separate thing. It is done and closed.
Done? Oh, okay. So you can go, so these are all issues. If you close the issue, then it will be removed. Oh no, it is closed. Why is it still on the board?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I guess I just have to take it off. I'm sorry. Ah, come on. Okay. All right, so cluster network policy, load balancer behavior. I started looking at, I don't know if I'll have the time to really get it in, but the KEP's already here, so maybe. The code isn't that complicated, but I don't know if I'll have time.
For that one, we need to merge the coupling of the load balancer ingress status.
Yes. Yeah, I think that one was largely, I think the PR was done. It just needed to be approved and whatever. Right?
Jordan commented he is fine with keeping current behavior, but he wants to document something. I don't remember. But
okay, minor issues.
Yeah, but it's good if we merge these things at the beginning of the release because.
Okay, yeah, I've got a few KEPs that are open assigned to me. So Antonio, this one is your API for IP and port allocations, right?
But that's not the one that I was looking for.
This is not the reserved range. This is the full API, right?
Right.
So do you want to try to push on that for 24? It's a good KEP.
Yeah, but I don't know if I have the energy in this release for doing that. I have a lot of things.
No pressure from me. I totally understand. But I read the KEP and I was like, this is good. I like this.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to have the small KEP with the service IP fix, and in QCOM, if hopefully we are able to fly to Spain to discuss in person with all of you, because it's an important change.
Okay. All right. Multi-siter is already flagged for 24. Dual stack API server support, that's a Dan one. 24?
Yeah, for alpha, yeah.
All ports. Avithra, are you here? I don't know what the status of that one is. That's a complicated one.
Yeah, it's kind of stalled, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Host IP's status. This one seems like it should be able to go. I think the implementation was out moving along, sorry. Milestone 4. RPC probes. Bowie, what happened with that? Did it go in?
I actually have to check it. I thought it was stuck in CL land. Sorry, CI land, but I thought it went in.
Oh,
So
gRPC container probe is in. It's alpha.
It went in.
All right. It was stuck in the test for a long time.
Yes, it was.
This guy, Sergey or something from Signal, he fixed it on backport.
Yeah, Sergey helped out. Okay, cool. So we moved a couple, each phase moved a couple forward. We have a few that are not committed yet, whether we're going to do them. Kube proxy moving to staging, command line kube proxy stuff. My inclination with command line and kube proxy is to kind of write off kube proxy here and say, like, Kaping or kube proxy 2 is our chance to fix the command line. Unless somebody wants to really take it. It was complicated the last time I looked at it. Okay. So this is the one that you wanted then. Yes, Antonio?
I pasted in the chat. Is the 3071.
Oh, no, this is different. 3071? Come on, GitHub. There we go.
Yeah, that one. I have to address the comments from Voitage for the PRR and then WinShips, but I think that there is a general agreement. I need to.
I agree. I think it was pretty straightforward. So where does it go? Reserve. Is the word reserve?
I didn't find it.
Reload. New. It's supposed to go into new, not evaluated, right?
Or is the issue? Are you going to the
PR or is this the CAP issue? This is the PR. Sorry, the key issue is 3070.
Okay.
Milestone 24. Projects. Caps. Back here. And take this guy off the project.
Daddy.
Okay, then it should be here, right? Oh, no, where is it? Only there. Did it not show up? 3070. Oh, it didn't stick. Two network caps. No, 30. Ah, I did it again. Hold on, I'm gonna call that. 3070. Oh, I didn't finish clicking. There. All right, whatever, I'll figure it out. There we go, 3070. So this is evaluated pre-alpha? Yes? Okay. All right. We'll have to go through these again, see which ones of these we just want to call. Oh, here's 3070. Why did I just do that?
I'll add that to the agenda for next time.
Yeah, I think there's some in here that we just need to get rid of. Which one did I moved the wrong one over? Reserve ranges. Okay, there. Enhancements 3070. Got it. Okay. And probably should just get rid of this PRs column because we're not really tracking it. All right. So then the open call to action is, if you have other KEPs that aren't on here, or you know of other KEPs that aren't on here, please let me know, or somehow get them onto the project designation. If you don't mark them as SIG network KEPs, then they won't show up on this board. And now is the time to look at all the KEPs and figure out which ones do we think are most impactful and we want to push forward, especially if you're willing to sign up for it. Okay. I yield the floor.
All right, and that's the end of our agenda. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about for the last 5 minutes? All right, see everybody next time. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Thanks.
Thanks
Happy
all.
New
Thanks,
Year.
everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.